So, we are here to predict the playoffs finally here, and I am pretty confident to start predicting here because, well, I don't think any of the 8 seed spots can actually win a series, so I feel pretty confident in picking this series, and we'll talk about them in a nutshell. Then we'll probably do some in-depth for some series. We'll see what we do, but we'll just talk basketball in as a positive way as possible, because that's what it's all about, man. Just gotta, it's not about toxic positivity, but it's about positivity in the end, man. And I just love basketball. I just love these storylines. I just love the drama of it all, even though the drama is not always positive. I just love it, man. It's just always such a good adrenaline rush, and it just makes you feel good, man. So let's start with the Western Conference. I'm picking Denver, and I think they will win in 5. I think both of these teams in that 8th spot could win a game or so, but I'm picking Denver in 5, maybe in 4. Wouldn't be surprised if it was in 4, but I'm expecting them to kind of trick away a game maybe, because, well, I don't think they will take OKC or Minnesota that seriously, even though they should, of course, but we'll see. Denver has been weird kinda, but they still have one of the best players in the NBA. They have a good overall starting lineup, one of the better offenses in the league. A lot of good shooters. I think they match up really well against both these teams, whether it's against OKC, where they really have nobody to stop Jokic, and they have some answers to, of course, Shea is unstoppable himself, but they have some better answers to everyone around him, while they have no answers. They have no answers for Jokic, and the same goes for Minnesota in a way, even though Minnesota could be dangerous. But they are too immature and too much of a team that just has not learned enough yet, in my opinion. They will in the end, eventually. I believe that, but have not yet. And we, as much as I love to stay positive, we gotta be also honest here. And Minnesota has not learned enough yet. They will get there, just not yet. And that's why Denver will win this series, no matter what, against, and probably in 4. But I'm gonna go 5, because, well, yeah, I don't know. Why not? Then we have Phoenix against the Clippers. Paul George has not been completely ruled out of this series, but it seems unlikely he'll play. So that really does not bode well for the Clippers that much. And even though I've not been as impressed with Phoenix overall, Kawhi has not been, completely perfect this year, where it was like, he has been the best player in the league, or one of the best players in the league for the whole year. He has been kind of up and down, but he'll have enough rest, and he is still one of the most impactful players. They do have a lot of solid role players, so this will not be an easy series for Phoenix. And I genuinely actually think that Russ will be playing really well, since he has been playing overall really well. And with tighten up rotations, I think this Clippers team will push Phoenix to 7, but I eventually predict that Phoenix will win in 7. And it's gonna be intriguing to watch overall, but I think it's gonna be Phoenix in 7, and maybe I'll change my mind a little later, but my gut feeling, and when I look at the matchups, when I look at the overall stuff, I think that Phoenix's talent will just outmatch the Clippers, no matter everything else. And I don't think Ty Lue has been that great of a coach this year for me to just say, hey, they have that much of a, they have some coaching advantage there and here and there. For me to say, like, yeah, they're gonna win because of a coaching advantage and Kawhi will be more clutch than everyone else. I just can't do that. Not with a good heart. But I think the Clippers will play this series really tough and make it a good series, even though, I wouldn't be also surprised if the Clippers somehow won in 6 or 5, or the Phoenix Suns swept the Clippers. It's really hard to predict this Western Conference, right? So, just gotta go with your gut in a way. Just gotta talk yourself into something in the end. And for Sacramento against Warriors, I'm picking Warriors in 6. I think they have too much experience. They are finally locked in more. They're not gonna have, to travel that much. And they are also, they are also just not gonna be at that much of a home disadvantage, or, the Kings will not have that much of a home advantage, as much as you would like to see it for them. And I think the Warriors could win this in 5, but they have been so unserious, it's hard to trust them in 5. I think they'll win in 6 at home and move on. Then I have the Grizzlies in 6 against the Lakers. I don't trust the Lakers' health enough. I don't trust a lot of their role players. And to be quite honest with you, I've not been that impressed with AD and LeBron overall. LeBron and AD have been spectacular. Don't get me wrong, but they have at their dots. And I think Memphis will be just too relentless. They have no point of attack defense, which will just bode well a lot for Memphis. And, well, except for Dennis Schroeder. And I think the size advantage will not be as bad as it seems with no Steven Adams. I think that Jaren Jackson will cover up a lot and actually, show some maturity and avoid some foul trouble more. That's what I believe in. I also believe it's just such a good matchup for the shooters, for just everyone around them, whether it's Ja, whether it's Desmond Bain, whether it's even Dylan Brooks, even though he scares me for Memphis. I think if Dylan Brooks just gets too involved, he will F it up, man. He will. But in the end, I just don't trust the Lakers. I just, I just think that something's gonna go wrong for the Lakers, whether that is injuries, whether that is just, that their role players are not consistent enough. And I don't think AD and LeBron can carry this load or can get enough support, and they will have some dots here and there, in my opinion, because I think the Grizzlies will not only match them physically, but probably outmatch them. And at the same time, I think the bodies of AD and LeBron are not that prepared for that overall. And I think Memphis has been doing it all year, and they'll be more physically ready. So then we have Denver against Phoenix. And, if this was before the end stretch of the season where Jokic was, hurt and everything, I would pick Denver in 6, Denver in 5. But after everything that has happened, it's really tough to predict, man. And I feel like it's gonna be Phoenix in 7. And as much as I would like to see Jokic actually, show out in the postseason even more, it's really hard because it's about health, and I don't trust Phoenix's health at all. Also, F it. We are switching to Denver in 7. I think Jokic will have the best series of his career. I think the role players will show up, and I think that Phoenix will be outmatched with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, the only one showing up. I think Ayton will not be a factor in this series, and I think Chris Paul at that point will be too physically spent to win a series. That's actually how I feel after thinking about it here. And as much as I would like to go against my Warriors, for many reasons, so I don't jinx them, so I don't sound like a homer, but I genuinely believe that they will beat Memphis, and it will be in 6 once again. And maybe I'm delusional. I could be. I really well could be. But that end stretch of at the end of the year showed me a lot more chemistry, especially since GP2 and Lester Quinones have been there, and it just seems that the team is more focused and more joyful. And when you see joy on the Warriors, it's scary. And I wouldn't be shocked if they get bounced in the round 1 or round 2. I wouldn't, and I'm not expecting them to win the championship. My expectations are that they will actually show their best and not F around like in the regular season. And whether that's good enough for a championship, Western Conference title, Western Conference Finals, Western Conference first round, my expectations are just that they will try their best, and of course, I can be sad that if they'll lose in 7 in heartbreaking fashion, right? But I will not be disappointed. And I'm not saying they'll win the title, but I'm saying that, maybe I will say that they'll win the title, right? But you understand me. The expectations, I don't have the expectations that they'll win the title, but I think, based on what I'm saying, I think they should win the title in a way, right? But against Denver, I think that's just a perfect matchup for the Warriors, honestly. Even though they effed around in Denver with no Jokic and lost, I think it's just such a good matchup, and I think they would win once again in 6, man. I think they would just always win in 6. And is it because I just feel like they will find a way to win at, at the road, even though they have not been great on the road. I think they will find a way to win on the road. And then I also think they will, not trick a game at home. So, yeah, that's how I feel about the Warriors. Nonetheless, maybe I am setting myself up for disappointment. God damn. We'll see. Maybe I'm too much of a homer. Milwaukee in 5, because I think they'll trick a game, just like last year. I just don't trust Miami at all. I don't trust Chicago at all. But I think they could trick a game because last year they did also, right, against the Heat. I mean, against the Bulls. So I'm trusting Milwaukee to get this done in 5 and not F around that much. Then I have Cleveland in 7. I think they'll win. And I think it will be close. But I'm not sure actually about Julius Randle. But I'm still picking them in 7 because I just feel like this is primed to be a 7-game series no matter what, even though the Knicks, it's hard to trust them after the last playoff appearance, but Cleveland is also new there, and I think it will be just a really physical, tough series for both these teams, and I think Cleveland will find a way to win in 7. Then I have Philly in 5. I'll give Brooklyn a game, but I don't think they can upset the Sixers. Maybe not. There is some chance, but I don't think it will happen. As much as I would like to, convince myself that the Nets can have a chance in this series, I just don't see it happening. Unless, of course, injuries happen. If injuries happen, then they sure do have a chance, right? But we'll have to wait and see. Then, as much as I would love to see the Hawks win, not only for, my homie who's a Hawks fan, but I just like the team also. I just like a lot of the players there. I think Boston is going to win in 5. Would have been a sweep, but the Hawks had a really impressive playing performance, and I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt there. So, we have these round set also. So, I think Milwaukee will win against Cleveland in 6. I think Cleveland will show out as good as possibly, but I would love to pick Cleveland in 7, but unless injuries happen, I just can't see it. I think they could push it to 7 actually, right? I think there is a chance they could push it to 7, but I don't see them actually winning the game 7. And maybe I should put it in 7. I think they could win all home games, but alright, I'll put it in 7, and of course anything can happen there, but I would love to see the Cavs win because I like a lot of the players there also, but I mean, I like a lot of players everywhere in a way, so except for Phoenix. I like KD only. But hey, positivity or something like that, right? NBA positively hashtag. And Philadelphia against Boston. I think Boston will win this in 5, honestly. I think they are just not that better of a team, but I think they just know how to beat Philadelphia, man. I just think if they are healthy, and the Philadelphia 76ers are healthy, I think Embiid will win a game, maybe two games, but I just think Boston knows how to play them really well. And then I think we get the finals we deserved last year, and Milwaukee will win in 7 against Boston, if healthy, and we'll get the final that we deserve. And now I'm gonna just go full homer. If the Warriors do get in the finals, I believe they will win in 7. And I think they will lose a game at home, and they will win 2 on the road to win the title in Milwaukee. And I'm going with my heart there, not with my gut. When I look at this matchup overall, I think, obviously the size stands out for Milwaukee and just the athleticism. But I think they also have nobody to defend Steph and nobody to defend the shooting at the same time. So as much as a lot of people would like to say that this matchup is just too great for Giannis, this matchup is also too great for Steph. And I'm picking Chef over anyone, man. Because that's my GOAT. Alright, the tiebreaker. What will be the point margin in Game 1 of the NBA Finals? So that would be in Milwaukee. And I would expect a 10-point margin at something like that, honestly. And yeah, those are my picks. Hope you enjoyed. I'm not sure actually if this is a good video or not, but hey, at least we are starting the debate. Let me know your picks. Let me know anything you want about the playoffs, and tell me how much of a Warriors decrider I am in the comment section. But not in a negative way. Keep it positive, guys. Please. See ya.